So, have I ever told you guys about my girlfriend?
No, you haven't. I haven't heard about her yet.
Is she like new? She just started dating her
No.
recently?
I mean, not. I wouldn't call it new. I mean, she's kind of been going out with me for like past, I don't know, like 2 years or something.
Huh.
Yeah. Did I like fail to mention that to you guys?
Yeah,
Like all this
Yeah,
time?
you did. I'm really kind of upset
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
The last 2 years.
So yeah, I mean, her name is Stephanie, and she's lives out in California.
Huh.
How'd you meet her? Let me ask.
Well, here's the funny part. I haven't like quote unquote met her in person actually before. Just kind of been talking to her online for the past 2 years.
Oh.
That's not what your dad said.
And no, well, my dad's kind of
Your dad
crazy.
said you guys met at Stanford.
Did I also tell you my dad does an inordinate amount of crack cocaine?
No, I did not know that. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to hit him up when I'm back in town.
Yeah,
Shit.
he's got the good stuff. But yeah, so basically, yeah, I've been like talking to her on the phone all the time and stuff. Sometimes her voice sounds like a little more manly on the phone. I think that's just my connection though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because I got pretty terrible phone service through Comcast. So.
Oh, good. Comcast.
So any chance we're ever gonna get to meet her, or
I
see
mean,
her
maybe.
in person, or?
She's kind of dying right now.
Oh,
really?
Wow, that was a mood killer.
I know. She's dying a little bit every day.
What? A little bit every day? What is it like?
I mean, I think it's cancer.
You think?
Yeah.
Not quite sure?
I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I think she's got
Okay,
cancer.
well, I guess I have one last question for
Okay.
you. Have you ever shown her your full Monty?
My full Monty.
Yeah, your full Monty.
What is that?
Your Monty Teo?
Oh, my Monty Teo?
Yeah, your invisible Heisman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's seen that plenty
She's
of
seen
times.
that little Skype action? Okay.
Yeah, like, well, it's funny. She doesn't have a webcam on her computer, so I've never actually seen her.
She just
Skype-
watches you.
Yeah,
like, stream it.
I have a webcam, but she just has the audio on her.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right. How's the football career going?
Good.
Great.
You know, I'm kind of on a sabbatical right now.
Because
Kind of.
you're Mormon, right?
Yes.
And you go to a Catholic school.
Yes.
How does that work?
It works pretty well,
Okay.
actually. You know,
Alright.
they're just like, hey, take these dollars here and come play football for us. And I say, yes,
So,
I'll
yeah,
take your
they're
dollars.
doing illegal things. That makes sense.
That's nice.
Well, it's called a scholarship, Nick. Let's be real.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to TechBuzzed, your raw and slightly inebriated look into the world of technology. I'm Nick Smock.
I'm Ryan Spletzer.
I'm Lucas Ritter.
In lieu of last week's episode, that extremely long episode, we've got a little bit of a shorter one for you. So we're going to start things off with some Facebook news. We know everyone loves Facebook and that good old Mark Zuckerberg. We're going to talk about a new
Mark
feature that they are going to be implementing and they announced earlier this week called Graph Search. It is not a search engine in the sense of like Google or Yahoo or Bing or... Does like Dogpile even exist anymore?
Yeah.
I guess Dogpile was a search
Alta
aggregate.
Vista.
It was a search aggregate that wasn't a search engine.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, yeah, like Ask Jeeves, exactly like that.
It's pretty much like Ask Jeeves. So Facebook.
it's 100% useless.
Facebook invented as Jeeves.
Zuck out on stage. He's like, you guys remember Ask Jeeves? Remember how awesome that was? Well, today we have something special to show you.
Yeah.
we reinvented Ask Jeeves.
So what Graph Search is it's actually a search aggregate, kind of like Dogpile is.
Yeah.
Where it collects all the information from your friends and family that you are friends with on Facebook, and and you can search for like a page or maybe a restaurant or music, and then you can see like what friends like that page or like that restaurant, like that music. And I think, but I'm not 100% sure, that you can kind of do backwards.
You can use it to find all your racist friends.
Yeah, that we'll get to that in a second. But you can kind of do it like backwards, where like if you search for a restaurant, it'll like show people who have like posted about it, and maybe be like, "Oh, don't go to that Olive Garden. That waitress is a B word." And so then you know not to go to that Olive Garden because you don't want to get that waitress. She's a B word. But
Really? You have to say she's a B word?
yeah.
B-word.
So Lucas brought up a funny article that Gizmodo posted. It'll be in the show notes. About how you can search for, let's say you find this like racist Facebook page that you really don't enjoy, and you search it in graph search, which this isn't available to the public yet. You search it in graph search, then you can see all of your friends who like that page and pick out who's racist or who's secretly closeted homosexual or whatever. I mean, pretty cool. So I mean, it'll make unfriending people that much easier.
Which is what I need, really.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
really, everyone likes to like clean up their
Clean house.
on their Facebook friends because no one really likes you.
Yeah.
Continuing on to
Well, graph search, like, here's the thing
yeah,
with it.
I was
like,
gonna say, what are you guys' opinions
Well-
before I bring up one of the big dog's opinions on this?
Sure. So, graph search, like, its utility to me, and from what I can tell from people who have used it, seems like it's only gonna be as useful to you as like the number of like friends and
Your location.
in your location, and basically like when I say number of friends, like number of like quality friends that have like skill sets and like are into certain things and are
Good
like
luck.
thought leaders. And I have to tell you,
I've got like 7 of those.
That's my big problem is since everyone hates me, I just have like my 3 friends on Facebook. I'm just like, oh, I know exactly what they're doing because I block everyone else.
I should also do that.
It's beautiful. Like, there are people
They're
where
making that really easy, by the way.
they are. It's awesome.
right. But see, the thing is,
Anyway,
like
with graph search.
with graph search, it's like completely developed in house at Facebook. So obviously, everybody at Facebook works with a lot of other really bright
Yeah.
people that are really like
I think it'll
knowledgeable.
be a good addition.
And like living in like Silicon Valley, like
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley,
It's also Silicon Valley, in case you don't know, because the women there.
have large breast implants, and
Just
all
the way I
work
like
at
'em.
silicone production facilities.
Big
Yes.
and fake.
Silicon Valley, there's a lot of bright people there.
Yep.
And there are not a lot of, you might want to mark this, heads there. So I mean, they're like just surrounded with talent.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Just very like driven,
cultured- yeah,
knowledgeable,
and, like, cultured people.
Cultured, like thought leader kind of folks, you know, that like actually probably use Facebook all the time and
For like practical reasons.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, I'm gonna say this right now. I post a lot of stupid stuff on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
But it's like
I'll be honest.
it's all in like it's all for the love of comedy.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I'm not like posting ignorant things. I'm posting funny things.
just read your things when you just joined Facebook, though.
No. Okay, yeah.
That's
And
good. Let's
you
go into
realize the terrible things, the terrible person that you were when you were in high school.
I gotta give us credit because no one knew how to use a social network back in
I don't care. I am still embarrassed for myself.
Do you realize like what we came from?
We all came from trailers. We all know that.
No. We all came here from MySpace.
We
Hey,
came out of the
Do not hate on MySpace. I'm on
primordial
MySpace
ooze.
right now.
Yeah, I mean
the primordial ooze of social networks.
of MySpace.
We came out, got ourselves onto the land, and grew legs,
Okay.
and then walked to Facebook.
I'm going to defend MySpace in its early years. It was good in the beginning, but then Facebook just came out and was just like, hey, F you, we're doing everything better.
F you, we're not going to let you set your own custom HTML background.
Yeah. Hey, I love those backgrounds. I would just go for the background that would make it so you couldn't see any of my buttons. So like you'd be clicking around the screen trying to get away and you couldn't.
I realized in 2007 I didn't post anything on Facebook.
All I did was I posted like statuses.
People posted on my wall. I didn't post any statuses.
Funny thing is, I can only go back till like October of 2010 because I actually deleted my Facebook. So I don't get to see all the ignorant, terrible decisions of my youth on this social network. But I can tell you what my first post was in 2010. And that was, I immediately regret this decision.
No, and I was looking back at my 2007, 2008 ones, and or actually 2006 or 2007. It's like one word: depressed, angry, not depressed. I'm like, why am I tweeting this? And then, or tweeting this. I tweet that still, but anyway, why am I Facebooking this stuff? I'm making Ryan work over there.
I just put 3 markers down.
This is like it's kind of like just looking back on how terrible you were back when you were 17 and 18.
Yeah.
Think about what an idiot you were in high school for a minute.
I mean, we were in high school. You know what? Okay, where was I? Maybe I was just at work. Was I at work?
Today?
Yeah, it might have been at work today. I can't remember if it was at work today or if it was like I was somewhere yesterday. I don't know. Regardless, there was a group of high schoolers that came in to work, like not local high schoolers.
Oh.
But they were like all like 16 and 17. And I was just like, those guys are dickheads. I was like, I was that dickhead. I go, why? What happened? Why?
I don't know.
I don't really care. It's done and over with. But someone big in the world of search and social media, I guess, had something to say about graph search, and that man was Larry Page.
Yes.
If you don't know who Larry Page is,
well, wait, will you fill me in who is Larry Page?
Stop using Google.
What does he do?
I said stop using Google if you don't know who he is.
Okay. Well,
He's the CEO of Google.
Larry Page. Or as I like to refer to him as, Lepe.
Lepe, I like
Lepe,
that.
yeah.
You doing some J-tops here.
you
Yes,
tell me to
Just
not
like,
use Google.
Just like Schmidt or whatever they call him.
Nick,
The Schmidt.
The Schmidt.
What am I supposed to do if I can't use Google right now?
Graph search.
I know, but I literally...
Oh, that's right. You're using a Chromebook. So...
I'm done for the podcast.
What did he say? Where is this link here?
Yes.
While he does admit that Facebook is strong in its space,
yes.
he also says the company is doing a really bad job on their products.
Which I tend to agree with.
I do too. I think Facebook, seriously, this sounds really dumb, but after Facebook added advertisements onto their site, I hated them.
It wasn't.
They were awful.
It wasn't cool anymore.
They just decided after they added advertisements that they weren't going to produce anything good anymore.
But everyone uses them.
But okay, and this brings up a good point.
That's my big only counter argument is everyone uses it.
To the people on Facebook who complain when they update their UI,
go use something else.
go back to MySpace.
That's so sad. There's nothing else that's better out there.
I think it wasn't when they added timelines.
Okay, Google Plus is nice, but
Google Plus
no
is the
one
best.
uses
no one uses it.
It's the best social network, but that nobody's
Twitter
on.
is the best social network. Twitter is
I love Twitter because
Twitter
people
is
just
pretty awesome.
But it wasn't the most recent timeline UI change, but the one before that, I went through on a mass unfriending. I just set up a filter that searched for people complaining about the Facebook update, and then I just unfriended all of them. I unfriended 60 people in one day.
Yeah.
Good call.
Oh, and that's what, 100th of your friends?
No, it's like a 10th.
Oh.
Well, it's a little more than that.
I just hate when people seem to forget that the web needs to move forward at a certain point, and that redesigns happen, and they're like a real thing, and you can't just get, especially for a free service, you can't get used, even for a paid service, you can't get used to it working one way for forever and eternity.
Things change on the web for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's I actually really love the timeline. I think it's super intuitive, and people who don't like it, again, can go back to MySpace.
Right. Well, see, I never before
Wait,
just
we
now.
talking about timeline right now, or
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Before just now, I never like click around my timeline. But now that we were like talking about the like when we were first on Facebook, it was cool because I
Yeah.
could click back to 2010, immediately jump back,
You can
and there's
go to,
all my
like-
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went to 2007 in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It really all it has to do with how fast you are with a mouse.
Twitter doesn't even have that good of archive
No
feature yet.
But there's like services that tap into the Twitter API.
Yeah,
that, like,
true.
You can do that.
My early tweets
let's-
are really bad though.
Oh,
Let's,
yeah,
I
so
guess,
are mine.
let's move on a little bit here. We're kind of dwelling on this Facebook topic a bit, but there's one more Facebook news item that it's going to be quick. Last 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about Facebook Facebook messaging app adding this like kind of voicemail feature where you can like send someone a voice message and then they can like listen to it and then answer it or reply to it like as a voice message. So it's essentially like a really dumb phone call. But now for the iOS version, you actually have to, I think you have to install this app outside of the App Store from what I was kind of reading.
Oh, okay.
iOS has a full like voice over IP internet protocol service through Facebook messaging.
That is awesome.
Which is sweet. So it's essentially like Skype with all your Facebook friends, but it's through Facebook service. So you could like, if like all of your like main contacts had Facebook. I mean, this is completely unrealistic, but you could get rid of your like phone number entirely.
Yeah.
And just like have the
Oh,
phone
that'd be amazing.
and like be over Wi-Fi all the time.
That's my dream.
But the problem is like Google Voice is a great service for that because you have your own phone number. Like if you were like had business contacts or something like that, they wouldn't be able to reach you on your Facebook phone because they
'Cause
have
they're
to be
not
like
friends
your
with
friend
you.
on Facebook.
Right.
It's like a landline could never reach you.
Which I wish Google Voice did calling over data and not over your actual minutes. But that's
Yeah.
just carrier politics for you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why they had
well.
to do that. But see, this is the kind of stuff that excites me about Facebook. That makes me when they're actually providing value to me, like instead of like,
value in new services and actually.
well, yeah, I mean, they try with graph search and they think that's useful to people, but like at the end of the day, think of how many keynotes like we've seen from Facebook in the past like year or two that like they think they're announcing something that's so cool and amazing.
They do get really
Like,
hyped about
they get
this stuff.
so high on their own supply, and then they just release something that is just like so. Remember the news ticker when
It's
that came out?
yeah, it's just so boring.
Remember the news ticker like that? You can still
Yeah.
I hide it now, but like
Yeah.
you can pull it down and it shows you in real time as stuff
Like
comes
people are
up.
posting, but then it's
How
just like, but then it's
dumb.
like it's only like 500 pixels wide.
Yeah.
If that, it's like maybe 320 pixels wide.
Yeah.
And so like you're getting like 6 words because it's like, hey, Ryan Scott Spletzer updated his status. There goes half the words in like the one little post, and then it's
Right.
like and then it's like 3 words dot, and then you have to click on the link
Yeah.
to like go to the status.
It was dumb, and like when it came out, you couldn't hide it. But Facebook, people at Facebook thought that was the coolest thing ever. They're like, oh my god.
The thing was though,
Oh
is
my
like
God.
with that, that's why most people like most people don't use Facebook for the news feed. They use it for looking at stupid pictures and playing games, and I guess that maybe this is just me
Hey,
being angry
anybody-
about
hey,
Facebook.
man.
You didn't fertilize my crops last week, and I'm not happy with you.
Remember
they all
when-
died.
Do you remember when we were playing Farmville like nonstop?
I never.
Do you remember when we
Farmville
played
once.
Neopets nonstop?
Dude, that was a
that
fun
was
day.
like 2 years ago.
No, it would. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
guess
I
it
was
yeah.
living at your place.
Both you and Gary were living. at
Oh,
my
that
place.
was depressing.
Remember? do you
depressing.
remember-
Awesome.
We were 20 years old playing Neo. No, we were 21 playing
Yeah, we were.
Neopets.
We got a case of Red Dog.
Yeah, we drank a case of Red Dog and played Neopets for like
God.
4 hours. And then Gary got banned the minute he joined.
Yeah, because
he named his monster just Penis.
and he did it like multiple times. He was like, "Why are they banning me? I don't get it." I'm just like, dude, stop naming all of your pets like penis and.
and vagina.
Yes, there were more names, but I don't really want to say them on our PG-rated
Yeah.
podcast.
Family-friendly podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
And
Man.
actually,
Remember there was a period of time like a year or two ago when Facebook was just like it felt like that was just when they introduced their like app model and you could make apps for Facebook, but then it just like exploded, and there was all these junky things that everybody was using, and it was like it would just like fill your newsfeed with crap.
They had to like update all of their like guidelines and terms of service for app development and like how permissions work.
Right. Yeah.
Which honestly, I think that's actually like a good thing. That, you know, instead of now maybe having this really malicious software or Facebook app that like hundreds of people use or hundreds of thousands of people use, and then it's just like really bad, that they get all these like junk, just like spammy apps that just like post to everyone's wall all the time.
Was terrible.
And then and that is the cause of them to like update the way their permissions work and the way their app submissions work, rather than having this like one like really bad malicious software like on your Facebook that's just like accessing everyone's account and like getting all their data mining basically.
Right.
So that was a lot longer than I thought we were going to spend on Facebook because
Facebook is a pretty big deal, though.
Whatever.
It's kind of the internet these days.
They only have like how many billion people on it? Don't they have 1 billion?
A billion?
Yeah, I think so. So, do you guys remember there was this phone company that like teenagers in Southern California for whatever reason still use and manufacture, and
they're like Canadian or something like that.
Yeah, and like
Canada?
Last year,
for some reason I just want to say danger, but
two of their executives got arrested on a plane because they were too drunk and they were picking fights with people. Yeah, Blackberry, they're back.
Yeah, RIM.
They're
Research
back.
in Motion.
Research in Motion, which I still hate.
They got a new Blackberry,
So, this has been in the works for like 2 years now.
Yep.
The Blackberry
BB10.
BB10. They're calling it the Z10.
Well, that's just the
That
device.
was the developer's device name.
Yeah.
But yes, BlackBerry 10 is like the new operating system. So, some random German mobile website found got their hands on a non-developer. I'm doing air quotes here because it's not confirmed or disconfirmed. I don't think that's a word. It hasn't been refuted though, whether it's been confirmed or not, that they have the new Z10, which is the new device that's coming out. And I watched the video. BB10 is gorgeous.
It looks nice.
It is super sweet because it mixes like great elements of the best mobile operating system ever, WebOS. I'm not even joking about that. I loved WebOS. My cousin had a Palm Pre, and at like family Christmases, I would just be like, "Can I play with your phone?" And I just sit there and play with the cards.
Swipe all around.
It's cool. So it like improves on WebOS, and it also has like little touches of Android and iOS in there. And I think it kind of just like takes the best of all the worlds. And makes this like I think it's going to be a really powerful business phone.
Yeah, it's the perfect phone I want to take into Tim Hortons and text my friends.
Text my friends and put up a good, nice Yelp review for this Tim Hortons. Because that girl is totally nice.
I'm gonna ask her to go to Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs game.
I'd like to
the
take her on a
game.
date. Maybe we'll go see the Blue Jays sometime, watch them lose another game of baseball.
That sounds like a good time.
Okay.
On another side note, you can buy a Palm Pre Plus for $50.
Get one. They're great.
Oh, wow.
However, if this is the real device, like the actual like body of the device, BlackBerry, you're going to get sued so bad when this thing comes out because it is like a thinner iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for the physical design.
Which is sad because it looks like, I don't know. It's not so much that it looks like an iPhone 4. It's just that it looks like every other phone out there.
Well, it's a black rectangle.
Because you know what I mean? Like, there was the iPhone 4 and then everybody kind of copied the iPhone 4. Right. And now everything is like a black monolith.
And
from
BlackBerry,
2001.
BlackBerry used to be really good about kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Well, then again, like back then when like BlackBerries were in their heyday, like every phone company was doing their own thing, and like most of them were doing it well. Remember the Sidekick?
Oh yeah,
that phone was hot.
That was sick.
Yeah, back before Microsoft killed that company.
Well, yeah, and then they made Kin.
and then it died.
Okay.
This makes me sad.
Also, if you've never used a BlackBerry before, their keyboards are god tier keyboards.
I did really like that BlackBerry I used for about half a year.
Yeah.
They make the best mobile keyboards anyone could ever put their fingers on.
That was that heyday of when you could text people without looking at your phone.
Oh my goodness.
Remember how awesome that was?
I still have a BlackBerry Bold in my top drawer. I have that in my SCHI 760 sitting right next to each other because those are my two favorite phones that I've ever owned.
Yeah, it's crazy
really
when you think about that. But
because both of their keyboards were just amazing.
Can I just have my rant about how upset I am that there are no manufacturers have completely given up on keyboard phones.
No keyboard phones.
There's nothing.
Never. But
unless you want to get a Droid 5.
The N series is going to have a BlackBerry keyboard on it, and it looks
it's going to. But I'll be honest, I do kind of
this post.
I do kind of want one of these devices just to see what the new OS is all about. But at the same time, I have too many bad OSs that I want to jump on.
You know what I don't get is how the thing I don't understand is their model. I'm looking at this QWERTY keyboard BlackBerry. The way they model their QWERTY keyboard phones just seems so outdated, but it's so perfect. It works so well. They always look the same. This looks like my BlackBerry Bold with a bigger screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just works, and it's
it's a nice design. They've always had good designs.
To be honest, I would still buy a QWERTY keyboard phone if I had.
I would too. I would buy it in an instant if there was a nice one out there.
I'm surprised.
Do any of you guys remember the Dell Venue Pro?
I remember it. I never had one, but
they made the Pro was on Windows Phone 7, and then they also made the Venue, which was on Android.
Yeah.
I really like the design of that keyboard, and they're
was
the
that
slide up.
Eclair or Donut?
It could have been. It was pretty old, and Dell's not the best for keeping their Android up to date, but. No, it's I miss designs like that where you just had the slide up keyboard because then you still had that full touch screen.
Yeah.
But the thing is since everyone wants their phone to be 9 millimeters thick, it's which bothers me.
It's pretty unfortunate.
I could care less. I would want it to be a little thicker if I could have my keyboard.
I sit here with this goddamn extended battery in this phone, and it makes it a tank, but it doesn't bother me.
Anyways,
exactly.
Yeah.
It lasts for 2 days on a charge.
I hate the shape of this phone.
Oh, the X.
I don't understand
the Droid X.
I don't understand it at all. I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, just you know what? I wouldn't even mind if it was just this thick where the camera is.
I like having the hump on phones like that, though, because it gives you something to grab onto when you're pulling it out of your pocket.
Does the hump at least give it a better camera functionality?
In what sense?
In the sense that you can fit a better sensor in there and stuff. Or is it still a garbage camera?
It's not that good of a camera.
But
well, then that's
a 2-year-old phone.
But my problem is I don't even care. Just make it this thick.
Yeah.
Just make it that thick.
Yeah.
If you are sticking a better sensor in there,
that's the difference in between the Razer Max and the Razer. The Razer Max is just that thick the entire way through, where the Max has that little bump.
I would rather have it.
I think most people, if that you're saying, would rather have the thicker one, but
it just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. It's uncomfortable when you're holding it.
Yeah.
So moving on. This is kind of, as Mr. Jarlack would say, and we digress.
Yes.
This is kind of an interesting article, but no one's really going to care about it. Apple's VP of Retail and Senior Vice President hopeful Jerry McDougal leaves the company.
Unsurprisingly.
Very unsurprisingly. Which I don't really like the title of this article because, they say he's the Senior Vice President hopeful, but, everyone knew he was going to leave.
Again, The Verge is getting very link baity. And also...
But, that doesn't even seem like a link bait.
Also, leaves company, quote unquote. I think more asked to leave company and then leaves company,
Well, you guys fill me in on this guy because I honestly don't know a ton about it because I don't know enough about Apple.
This guy came in after their former VP of Retail, whose name escapes me
Ron Johnson.
Ron Johnson went to J.C. Penney.
Last year. 2 years.
Yes.
Well, 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
and is
2011.
Yep.
single-handedly trying to reinvent JCPenney,
But killing
which,
it.
Can I say, by my recent entry or visit
Trip
to
there.
my recent visit to JCPenney in Midland, Michigan, not working so well.
No, I
Kinda
bought a
terrible.
tie from there.
It
The
bothers me
ties
because
are fine, but
I
like,
bought a nice tie from there. It was cheap.
on a completely not TechBuzzed topic, I used to really like JCPenney's. I could always
Yeah.
walk in there and like get like a decent shirt or something if I needed
Yeah.
it, and it was just they had everything I wanted, and like I'd get jewelry there for the girlfriend and just stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Stuff.
But yeah, like you said, now they've changed and it's just kind of.
Did you guys like happen to read his like reason for leaving?
No,
Well,
I have not.
He's leaving the company to spend more time with his family.
yeah, that's BS.
That is like a cover up if I've
That's
ever heard
BS. He was asked to leave. I guarantee it. This guy, most people don't realize this, but he made some boneheaded moves while he was there, including, I can't remember the specifics of it, but something he did, some decision he made, really pissed off all of the retail employees of Apple.
I'm sure he dropped something out of like their
he
contracts or whatever.
dropped something, but wound up bringing it back like almost immediately because
I'm sure he dropped something out of one of their like contracts or like clauses when you get hired in.
Yeah, it was such a boneheaded move. So he, I'm not surprised that this guy is leaving. To be honest, like he's probably gonna go find some other thing somewhere else. So,
do we have much to say about Aaron Schwartz? Not really.
I mean, it's unfortunate.
Aaron Schwartz was a co-founder of Reddit, and he was in a legal battle with the U.S. government.
And to backtrack a little bit, he also invented the RSS feed.
Yeah, like when he was 14.
When he was like 14 years old.
Yeah, he was 14 years old. This guy is an internet prodigy.
Yeah.
Well, was an internet prodigy.
He was brilliant.
He committed suicide earlier this week in lieu of his legal battles with the government for stealing
public documents.
Which, it's...
I think the best way to put it is he stole public documents from a private repository.
Yes.
Of a university, like
Weird.
which is
Wasn't it MIT?
yeah, which is like the fact that somebody could get mad about that or care,
Right.
like
I
confounds
can
my brain so much.
I can understand like maybe them like sending him a harshly worded email or something that's just like,
Yes.
we understand that these are public documents, but why are you taking them from our private
Like if
repository?
anything, that in my mind, if I was at college and I stole something, that seems like a punishment worth of like an academic probation for like a year or something.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't even. Was he still in college when he did that?
He
was out of college.
He was out of school.
So whatever. Like this whole thing.
Or he
was
might have
like-
been in like grad school or something.
Yeah. Basically, the reason he got sued for that is because
Was getting sued.
basically because he could get sued for that. That's, you know what I mean? It wasn't like the
Yeah.
fact that it was so egregious of an act that they were like, we're going to sue you for this. It was because, oh, you did this and this law is antiquated and weird from 1983 or
Right.
whatever, and we can sue you for this.
That's the
It's
issue.
stupid.
That's the issue with like you can't really. They're not like technology law is not like rubber banded. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it can't. It's so hard for it to like rubber band to the time. So you kind of have to like constantly update it based
Yes.
on like how things are changing. And so imagine you walk into a store and there behind the counter there's a box and it says like free, take one, and there's some gum in there, and you
Yeah.
like walk behind the counter and like grabbed a piece of gum because it says free and take one, and then you get arrested for like going back there because that's pretty much what he did. Like he went
you
into
get
like,
arrested
he went into
because-
like an employees only area and took something that
he
was
got
already
arrested
free.
in
Well, he
this
did.
analogy. He got arrested because instead of taking the gum from the front side of the counter, he walked around to the back side of the counter and
He walked
grabbed
into the
gum.
employees only area and grabbed
He
the gum.
literally put his feet in the employees only area,
Yeah.
and grabbed the gum. Dumb to me, because like something you can get elsewhere for free, like, and you just pulled it from some database that happens to be privately like managed.
And then he committed suicide because of the stress.
Like, yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but
It
like,
sucks. He was a good guy.
yeah,
He was a prodigy.
yes. Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember the days when I was using Netscape, the browser.
Oh, great days.
Yeah,
Great days.
those were good days. I remember all of a sudden one day when there was this like RSS button that showed up in Netscape. I was like, what did I do? Because my initials are RSS, Ryan Scott Spletzer, and I was like, what?
I really love how your initials are RSS.
It's kind of
It gives me
awesome.
it gives me a tech boner.
Good.
Okay.
I'm glad. But like when I saw I'm like what? I was probably like 12, maybe
14,
11 years old at the time, or 13, and I was like, wait, what did I do? What did I just do to the computer to make the RSS show up? I was like literally like, what did I touch? What button did I press?
Lead hacker.
And so, but like, yeah, no, and that, like really the RSS feed is the foundation of like a lot of awesome things today. Like podcasts are built on RSS.
Yeah.
The reason you guys hear TechBuzzed every single week is because of RSS feeds, and that's thanks to Aaron Schwartz.
I should say it's not because of RSS. RSS makes our lives easier as podcasters.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
And it makes discovery easier.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Like say someone just stumbles across one of our videos on YouTube, which probably never happens, because I can never find our own videos on YouTube. They see that RSS link and they can plop it into Google Reader, or they can shoot it into their podcast app.
Yeah.
And like instantly get updates when we upload an episode. So
Yes.
like it just RSS streamlines the internet in terms of like news.
Yes. Exactly.
So yeah, it kind of sucks that he died. It kind of sucks that he was getting sued. But Reddit.
Yeah.
So
Suicide's bad, kids.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself.
Drink beer instead.
It works.
do we want to talk about Eric Schmidt's trip? To
Yeah,
North
let's talk about that a little bit.
All right.
We don't know why he did this.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows why Eric Schmidt went to North Korea with his daughter and Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico.
I think,
or former governor.
I
I
think
can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's former because
Yeah.
now it's Jan.
I think he
Yeah.
went
No, that's
to
theirs.
North Korea because he's the Schmidt.
He is the Schmidt.
He was like, I'm the Schmidt. I
He's-
want to see the Un.
He's Eric Schmidt, international man of mystery.
I want to see KJ Un.
God dang it. No, but you want to know the sad thing is Google probably has more money than North Korea
Oh yeah, it's true.
by
Oh,
like
easily.
leaps and bounds.
Easily.
Yeah.
He probably has a higher net worth than like a good chunk of Korean land.
I'm gonna look that.
I'm
up
actually
right
really
now.
curious if
I'm
that
gonna
Google
look
has a
that up.
higher net worth than all of North Korea.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
I would
it.
not be surprised.
We're
but
gonna
at
look
the
it
same
up.
time,
You guys keep talking about his daughter. His
Yeah.
Well, okay,
moderately
so
good-looking daughter.
Yeah. Okay. So she went with him to North Korea and happened to post a bunch of photos from their trip in a Google Plus or Picasa album or something. I just looked at them, and they were creepy, man. Like
Yeah, they were really unsettling.
like the things you saw, like it reminded you of like
What's
pictures of Soviet Russia in like the 70s.
Are you thinking like the GDP? Maybe is that what you're?
not necessarily GDP because GDP would be a good thing, but I know that like Google's values me way more than their GDP.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
But there's really no way to put a net value
Okay,
on a
well,
country.
I'm just gonna pick their GDP because that's a bit. Actually, yeah, it. leaps
But,
and bounds. Google's worth $200 billion roughly, and North Korea is worth about $40 billion.
And that's their gross domestic product.
Yeah,
Okay.
That sounds about right.
But like you said with those pictures, it's unsettling and kind of disturbing because you look at them and even without knowing where they're like, even just knowing them from they're from North Korea.
They're from North Korea because of the pictures.
But you look at them and they're like, you can tell that they've been looked through and like decided which photos could be posted by a government because they're the best they can do and they're trying to be like framed like nice views, but still you see like the city square where the people are just like walking around. It's cold and snowy and just depressing looking. And then like there will be pictures where they're trying to show nice pictures of like their housing developments, but they just look like Mother Russia, like you said, and it's sad.
yeah, it's really
Like,
sad, and
especially when you just look south to South Korea and how like amazing that country has turned out. And I guess it's kind of scary because I think they even have a little bit of an internet issue right now where they're trying to censor some things.
Yeah.
In South Korea.
Yes,
In South Korea?
relatively. Like, they censor it, but it's not... I'm putting this on the scale of, like, if that the U.S. would block certain sites, everyone would freak out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it might just be some minor censoring or even, like, that I shouldn't even talk about it too much because I don't know specifics, but
It's just like a little, like
it's
a
just a
couple
little bit of
terms.
thing. Like it would be a big deal if you're just thinking about them as a totally like free, modern,
Yeah.
almost like a Western country. But yeah,
And it's the other thing I'll say is like it's kind of freaky because you look at somebody posted a comment underneath the post about this on The Verge, and it was a picture. You know how you see those satellite aerial photos of like at night
Yeah.
of the world and stuff, and you see all the lights and stuff in the cities. North Korea is just like dark.
yeah.
There's like 2 spots of light, and then all around it in South
And it's
Korea and
probably,
China in the
like-
north, there's tons of light everywhere. It's crazy, and like they just like you wonder sometimes like what the hell is going on there. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Guys, I have a confession to make. I just bought a BlackBerry Curve.
Uh-oh. You're kidding
Why
me.
did you do
Live
that?
on the podcast?
Why would you do that?
It was $28.
No!
God, what are you gonna do with that?
I don't know. It was $28
A BlackBerry
though.
Curve?
Did you buy it for yourself?
I don't know.
Did you buy it for a friend?
No.
A loved one?
I just bought it.
You just bought it to buy it?
I gotta get back to the page.
Why?
Let me see here. But
We got you way too nostalgic this podcast, and you were
you're-
just like, "Oh God,
You're
look at
a-
that keyboard!
You're a dumbass.
I need it now."
but it's only like $28.
That's terrible. It's not even worth that.
I don't care.
Didn't
What the? Let me.
Do you know how I know that it's not worth it to buy that phone? Because I know that for a fact that all the web designers out there are not even worried about optimizing sites for that phone anymore.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
such
like.
an
Like
old
by like
phone.
2 years ago, sort of not caring about that phone.
Yeah. By the way, Lucas, I'm reading these show notes here. Way to spell future Futer.
Yes, winning.
Futter.
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 Um
That's the title of this podcast. Futter.
so some kind of beer news, I guess.
Beer?
Since we're in the
Wait, beer?
We're also
Holy
also
cow.
do beer on this show.
Speaking of North Korea,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about beer for a little bit.
Yeah, because
Do they even
North
have
Korea
beer?
has the best beer.
Do you think they're even allowed to drink beer?
North Korea has
Yeah.
best beer in all of world.
Kim Jong Un.
Says North Korean television.
Kim Jong Un, best brewer in world.
Kim Jong Un brew beer on his mountaintop brewery all day.
in
all day.
in solid diamond barrels that he made by hand because he's the best diamond smith in the world.
He just like
He's the
sanded
only-
down some diamonds.
He's the
with
only
his, like,
diamond smith in the world. Okay.
Did they- oh god.
So, brewing company, we've had this company's beer a couple times on the show.
Yep.
We love Fat Tire. Everyone does. It's a great beer. New Belgium Brewing Company. They have this program. It's called EOSP, Employee Owned Stock Program. There's a few companies that do this. Up until about a week ago, employees own 48% of the company.
Of New Belgium.
Of New Belgium Brewing Company through their stocks. There's about 1,000 or so employees at this company. So up until about a week or two ago, they own 48% of the company, and then like the board of directors owned the other 52%. As of last week, employees now own 100% of the stocks in the company. So
Wow.
the 1,000-some employees own New Belgium.
Those 1,000 employees must have bought a ton of stock.
No.
in that period.
They're given to the
They're given
employees
us-
by
they
the
gave,
company.
They gave it to
Yes.
them. Okay.
And so their co-founder and CEO, I cannot think of her name. I'm drawing a blank here on her name. Let's see. Kim Jordan. She said that they really just wanted to do that. You know?
Yeah.
So she discussed it with the board of directors, gave all the stock to the employees. So there's 100% employee owned. However, Kim Jordan and the board of directors are still going to stay on as CEO and board of directors. Because there's no reason for them not to. I mean, the employees aren't going to just like have a mutiny and
kick him out.
Kick her out.
Yeah.
But so I think it's pretty interesting. I
That's
think
awesome,
that's gonna.
yeah.
I think that's going to like kind of give New Belgium the sort of like Valve-like
creative freedom.
Yeah. Like the Valve-like business model where, say, one of their brewmasters says, you know, I think I'm gonna make a banana split stout. He's like, that I've been toying with this at home. I'm gonna do it. And then New Belgium makes a banana split stout and it tastes great. And I can't believe you bought that. And
that's ridiculous. I can't. Yeah.
I think it's because New Belgium is. They're great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're pretty boring though. I like how Schwartz brewmasters are just like they just make delicious beer.
Yeah.
And they're funky. They make like peanut butter and jelly.
They try all sorts
peanut
of
butter and jelly
things.
stout. That was delicious.
Yes.
And
I really want to try that.
PB&J.
It'll never be back in bottles.
Yeah.
However,
Really?
That's
sad.
However, they
Could we get it in like?
do it on tap every once in a while.
Could we, like, let's say?
I can replicate it.
No, remember that? What's it called? You can get them at the one brewery in town, not the Frank Muth Brewery, but
Sullivan's.
at Sullivan's Growler. Could you get it in a growler?
Yes.
Oh my
but
gosh.
you have to know when they're gonna have
When they're
it
gonna have
on
it,
tap
That's-
at the actual
Brewery,
pub, at the pub, not the
Yeah.
Up north in northern Michigan.
Yeah, up in Belle Isle, or Bel Air.
Bel Air, yeah.
Because like the actual brewery in Elk Rapids only brews. Okay, this is how Schwartz works. Okay, so in Elk Rapids, which is about 10 minutes outside of Bel Air, that is where their brewery is. That's where they brew and bottle all
Is
their
it
beer.
Bel Air, California?
No, yeah, 90210.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
So in Elk Rapids is where they actually brew and bottle their beer. However, in Bel Air, Michigan, not California, they brew beer there.
Yeah.
And all the beer that they brew there is served there. Like, none of their beer that they brew is bottled. It's just on tap. So like all of the beer brewed or served at the brew pub in Bel Air is actually brewed in house.
Right.
But it's Schwartz. It's still Schwartz. It's just brewed in house.
Right.
To
Yeah.
save on like transport.
That makes
costs.
sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
So I just thought that was an interesting little
Yeah,
story.
good story.
I think it's going to open up a lot of creative freedom.
Yeah, and I
Belgium.
hope to see that kind of same kind of like experimental, like, you know, it's really tough though, because I feel like if you were to go outside of Michigan, you don't necessarily, you know, we see all these different Schwartz beers here that are like really crazy and experimental. If you go to the right, like, you know,
beer bar
or liquor store that has that kind of stuff, but you go outside of Michigan, you don't see all that crazy
No.
experimental.
Well, here's
Schwartz brews, but
the issue with Michigan brewing companies is
They all started.
they're not as big as a company like New Belgium. New Belgium is it's a
pretty
huge
big.
craft brewery because
Yeah.
if you think they're from Fort Collins, Colorado, we're drinking their beer here in Midland, Michigan.
right.
But you don't see companies like Arcadia or Dark Horse or Schwartz or Keweenaw. You don't see them outside of like Michigan, like the Great Lakes, like belt of like maybe Illinois, Ohio, maybe Indiana.
Let
Like,
me
you
let me
don't-
say
you don't
something
see
about
that.
Michigan breweries.
They're the best.
No, I just wait. I
Did you
think
say no?
I don't know because I haven't had breweries from every state.
They're the
But
best.
anyway,
Yeah.
okay, this is very subjective. It's have we visited every state and tried every one of their beers? Okay. Anyway, I think Michigan has so many good small breweries though because everyone's unemployed, so they have nothing better to do but go and brew beer.
I think that Michigan has so many great small craft breweries because there are way too many hipsters here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you, like, you didn't work the web, did you?
No, I didn't.
If you look at every single brewmaster that was here from a Michigan-based brewing company, they were all wearing, like, chinos rolled up with, boat shoes or plimsolls, and they all had really big beards. They all looked the same. They were all a bunch of hipsters.
Yeah.
That's why.
I will say,
They're creative.
of all the states in the U.S., the biggest ones in my mind of the beers that I've had from like microbreweries and stuff come from Michigan and Colorado
In Oregon.
and some from California.
There are a few from California. Yeah.
Yeah, a few. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like every once in a while I'll have like a really great
Right.
beer from California, but it's like few and far between. But that's
Colorado is probably, like, besides Michigan, obviously, like, Colorado is definitely one of my number one.
Yeah.
Like, Fort Collins and Boulder have some really great breweries.
yeah.
And then Oregon, like Portland. 'Cause
Yes.
You don't want to know, and you know why that Portland has so many great breweries? Because there's a ton of hipsters there.
Go where the hipsters are.
Exactly. If you want good beer, go where the hipsters are.
God dang it.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break.
But Lucas wants to talk about Futter social networks.
Oh, do you want to talk about Futter?
We don't have to. I guess, how are we doing for time? Like, we could add on.
We're at like an hour.
Well, okay, let's just do a real quick section here. Like,
All right.
what do you guys think? Like, let's say Facebook sells your soul to the devil and everyone freaks out and they actually legitimately
That's already
try to
happened.
switch. No, I mean, like, even worse than what has happened. Like,
Okay.
they say, we are going to sell your photos for profit and not give you a penny.
Okay.
Like, they come
They're
out
gonna
and, like,
Instagram you.
Instagram didn't even do
I
that,
know,
though.
But
That is,
I still
anyway.
like making the joke.
But, like, let's just say hypothetically they do something completely crazy, insane, stupid that makes everyone be like, screw you, Facebook, and switch. What would be, like, are there any replacements out there for
Twitter.
it? But Twitter doesn't.
No, I think Twitter would really pick up the slack on that.
I don't think so, just because of
Twitter
photo
would take
A
support.
bunch of it.
Where else would people go?
I don't know, but
MySpace.
no.
Tom needs
MySpace switched
Tom
way
needs-
too much to music to
Tom
do
needs
that.
money.
Tom does need money, but that's beside
Tom
the
is
point.
completely divorced. He's like completely separated from
Yeah.
MySpace.
Yeah,
now.
I know, but he needs money.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Royalties,
does.
baby, royalties.
Yeah. I think, well, certainly they wouldn't go to app.net. Can I just say
No.
that Dalton
I
Caldwell, nice. I like his ideals.
I don't want to pay for it.
But yeah, nobody. Yeah, first of all, nobody wants to pay for it. Second of all, that was never gonna happen.
you know what? I want.
You know what I mean?
I want.
Yeah.
I actually want to be a member of app.net, but I don't want to pay for it. I don't know why anyone would pay to be a member of a social network.
I just don't. Nobody would ever care enough to be. Let me put it this way: that idea was dead in the water from the beginning. Like,
Oh, it sure was.
like Dalton Caldwell and app.net were not going to get any like the amount of critical mass that you could get from a social network in that fashion. Like,
Yeah.
I knew it from the moment I heard him talk about it. Like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. You're never going to be
Seriously.
huge. You know?
$5 a month.
No, I'm sorry. No,
Yeah.
like that's not. No, I will say even despite the $5 a month, if it was free, I'm saying even if it was free, they wouldn't hit the critical mass.
They wouldn't because it's not meant for your average Facebook user.
Exactly.
It's just like Google Plus.
Exactly. It's like a Twitter clone basically.
Yeah.
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 But I
You know,
think Google Plus would.
I
up the
think
most slack.
I think Google Plus might get a lot of people actually. Here's the problem. The problem with Google Plus is that it's so integrated into everything you do with Google that
Yeah.
it's not its own thing really.
Yeah.
Like Facebook is just a social network. Google Plus feels like you go to Google Plus and here's all this stuff.
You
from
have
all
to-
my Google
yeah.
services
Yeah.
that's integrated into it, and it's just kind of it feels weird. It feels like an afterthought almost. Like
Yeah.
even though I think it's the best social network out there in terms of like functionality and how it works, but there's nobody there like using
Yeah.
it. But it's so good, but it's just like if you don't have the people using it, you're not going to get there.
Right,
And even
right.
if Facebook died tomorrow, I don't think Google Plus would be the thing.
Well, the problem is a service like Google Plus that really doesn't have like it's got a lot of users, but it doesn't have like the use and the backing like Facebook does.
Yeah.
They have no real need to update and meet users' needs because the people who are regularly using it are not like unhappy with the way it's working.
Right. They're very much good with how it functions.
Yeah, so like there's no way for like Google to say, "Hey, you know, we have a lot of users and they're like using this service, but they may not be very happy with it. We need to update to accommodate that," which is what Facebook does.
Yeah.
Right.
But since like Google Plus has such a core user base, like such a solid core user base of like it's niche. It's niche.
It's
is
a
what it
niche
is.
user base.
It's niche.
It's niche.
Niche.
They have no reason to ever update.
No,
And it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Google Plus doesn't have a reason to update.
Not really.
Well, I will say not now. Actually, now they don't have a reason because you remember when it first came out. When it first came out,
That was tough.
it was kind of clunky.
Yeah.
But now it's like you go there and it's actually really nice.
it is really
It's
nice.
a
Yep.
really nice interface. I will say, like, it feels it's so slick.
Oh, and actually, this just reminds me. What do you guys think of? Would Pinterest pick up? My only problem with Twitter picking up a lot is because I just think of all my relatives and all of the women that are on Facebook. All they care about are the pictures and like looking through all the things and seeing all the relationship statuses and all that gossip crap that I don't care about. That's
Yeah.
why I don't use it much.
Yeah.
But that is like, when you think about it, I would say 80% of Facebook's use
Yeah.
is just
I
all
agree.
the pictures and crap.
So
Where
I mean, that's,
Twitter's much more news based, and like you can post a picture on there, but it's a pain to find it
So-
later on. And you don't really tag it.
So then Google Plus would your phone's ringing. So Google Plus would really be where they
sec.
pick up users then in terms of what Lucas is saying.
exactly.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I took a photo today. During it was so windy last night.
Yeah.
It happened to blow down like our fence, like our whole fence. Just blew it down. It blew it down like our whole fence down. Excuse me, I was a little quiet there.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of it to like post it to Twitter, and then like Google Plus like instantly added it.
Yeah, because it came straight from your phone, and that's how you had it set up.
Actually,
You know, like,
Yeah.
like that's the beauty of Google Plus too. Is like I use Google Plus almost exclusively for photos because I know when I take a picture on my
It's just
phone,
going right
it's
there.
right there and it's available afterwards.
It's convenient, and that's like kind of catering towards that crowd.
But
of
I will
people
say,
who, like,
looking at
upload
the Google
photos often.
looking at the Google Plus interface,
I'm going to it right now.
I can tell the minute you land on it, you're like, this is not for a sophisticated internet user or social network user. You know what I mean? Like, it has so much going on it compared to Facebook, which is like, when you go to Facebook, you've got your straight list of links on the left under subheadings, right? And it's just like a straight list of links. But you go to Google Plus, and it's like there's a left sidebar with like all sorts of different like things you can click, but then you've got a top like thing above there where you can click and like filter down based on like different categories of people,
right.
and then on the right there's all of the chat, and then on the right of that, or like on the right of the main newsfeed is like people you may know, trending topics on Google Plus you might like, and then there's finally the newsfeed, and then it's much more icon based, I guess, than which I actually like. Icons to me are more universal, and they like, you don't have to know, like you could be on Google Plus in like German or English or Japanese, and that YouTube icon is going to be the same to everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's much more for a sophisticated user. You know what I mean? Like Facebook, when I go to Facebook, I see all the links for their different services, and it's like newsfeed, messages, events, photos, but they are spelled out in their actual words of what they are.
Yeah.
You know? And in terms of interface design, that's not as fun, to use to me, but to the average person that isn't sophisticated with all this stuff, yeah, it makes sense to them.
Right.
Because it spells out what everything does.
Right.
And that's why Google Plus won't ever be big. And that's a bummer because it's so well designed.
It is beautiful because it really follows like that almost mobile design code.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so like it's Facebook does this too. It's like cross-platform, it's intuitive cross-platform.
Yes.
So if you're using you're on your computer and you're looking at Facebook, and then you go to class or something and you check Facebook out quick on your phone, it's essentially the same interface, and that's kind of what Google Plus did. And I think it's just like it sucks that no one will understand it.
I know,
it's just misunderstood emo kid.
it's just so far ahead. I will say, it's ahead. It's kind of ahead of its time.
It really is.
Because what? I think actually 2 or 3 years from now or 4 years from now, we'll still have Facebook, but
Google
they'll
Plus will be more relevant.
Not that necessarily that Google Plus will be more relevant, because I actually don't think Google Plus will ever be like the thing, which is
gonna be like Google Buzz, man.
But no, what I'm saying
Lord.
is Facebook will slowly over time transition to more of a Google Plus kind of feel.
Well, but wouldn't that make Google Plus more relevant then?
It might, but at the same time,
because then you have people who are like on Facebook and they're like getting used to these new design changes, and they kind of say, "Hey, I have a Gmail account. I have this Google Plus thing that I don't really know what it's about," but then they see it and they're like, "This is interesting."
It's sort of like all of a sudden, as Facebook iterates more and evolves more, and it starts making sense and gets more mature as a design language, like the Google Plus starts making more sense.
Which they really need to do.
Except that here's the problem, though: Google Plus is always going to feel the need to iterate and even be more farther ahead of the times.
Right.
So I don't.
I can understand.
I think it's kind of like they'll never catch up to that. Really.
But haven't you noticed though that Google Plus, a profile page in Google Plus is becoming more and more Facebook-like? You have a cover photo and a large profile picture with your about section below it, and there's a wall. Right. But everything else though is completely different. The general concept behind it is completely different.
Right. Which I think is starting to touch on a point of we've seen this in a lot of areas of technology, convergence. At a certain point, there's a certain best way to do something.
Right.
And the internet has been that way. Back in the early days of the internet, there were multiple ways of doing things, and eventually we settled on standards, and now today...
Which is good.
And I think eventually social networks will settle on standards. And then, which will be truly cool, social networks will be judged based on their merits instead of just people's tastes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which you know what?
What does this social network do for me?
People's tastes suck.
People have terrible tastes. They're awful.
They really do.
I hate you people.
And I'm deriving this statement from being on Reddit and going to the wallpaper subreddit and looking at people's taste in art. And I'm just where did you people grow up? And what gave you culture or lack thereof?
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's cool. We
really extended that.
Hey, everyone, listen to this music, and we'll be back. Hey everyone, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that little music break. We're gonna get the beer of the week going here. And Lucas, why don't you take the reins?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with my beer this week, and I'm pretty impressed with the beer. I bought it a couple weeks back. It is Founders Imperial Stout. It's I can't really describe it very well, but it's a very strong beer. It's a special edition that only comes out, I think, once a year. But it was just highly recommended to me, so I gave her a try. And I'm a big fan of it. It's very potent though. It's like over 10%. It's like 10.25%. But yeah, I was a big fan of it, and I'm gonna taste it again here so I can give a little more in-depth description of it. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
That is a stout if I've ever had one.
That's a really good stout.
Yeah.
That is a really good stout.
I like how, because it's a stout. You can tell that, but
It's
like
got
it's very thick.
that chocolate stouty taste.
Very chocolatey taste. But this one, which it's strange for me to say that, but since I've been having lately, the last couple weeks, I've been having a lot of really smooth beers that don't have that kick to them at the end, and that really beery flavor. I sound like a terrible person right now, but anyway, it's a good change for me, I guess.
I would describe this taste, this like aftertaste at least, as like I really like Ghirardelli dark chocolate, like the 86% chocolate, where it's not even sweet anymore. It's just like super bitter.
That stuff is
that's
delicious.
that's kind of what this aftertaste is like that. You know.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Which is great because I love dark chocolate, but yeah, so. Cool.
I'm a big fan of it, and actually, there's a barrel-aged one at the place that I buy beer from every once in a while. I'm really upset that I haven't gone and gotten it yet because I want to try it out, but yeah.
Okay, I guess mine is up next. So I brought in today the it's called the Trace Blueberry Stout, but it's by Dark Horse Brewing Company out of Marshall, Michigan.
Yes.
So I've had this beer quite a few times over the past years because it's been in various bars in East Lansing and stuff. And it's always been a big favorite of mine. And I've been trying to find the opportunity since we started this podcast to bring this one in. And it's finally kind of in season, I guess, now. So I found it at the Lager Mill today.
I don't really... I had to figure out how I'm going to phrase this. I don't like eating fresh blueberries. Mm-hmm. It's not that I like blueberry muffins. I don't like eating just like raw blueberries. That has an amazing blueberry taste.
Yes.
An amazing blueberry taste.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite beers, and definitely like my
really
favorite
good
blueberry beer because before this I had that like Wild Blue, which was just like the sweetest, terriblest, awfulest thing I've ever tasted.
It tastes like blueberries and like a pound of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's really
Where
good.
this is like nice and smooth. It's not too sweet, and it's just like a good.
Yeah, I do have one qualm about Dark Horse Brewing actually. And that their labels are junk.
Oh yeah,
I hate all their labels.
This label looks like a blood spattered like wall, but like with blueberry spatter. Like somebody somebody like atrociously murdered a blueberry.
But what is that like twisty thing?
I don't know. It's really abstract and weird. It doesn't make sense.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
It looks like someone just like poorly rendered that in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Which probably happened.
It's probably
like someone's mom has like Photoshop CS and like
CS2 because it's free now.
No, they have like CS.
Oh, CS
just
original.
Like the original Creative Suite, and they were just like, "Oh, I made this for you, Sonny."
And what they're rocking on Windows 95,
98.
98.
Oh,
okay. ME.
So
that is really good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Right now, I think this is probably our best beer of the week yet.
Really?
Really? Like the three beers that we brought this week.
So
this is the best competition.
This is the best competition.
I definitely agree with that. That's why I'm kind of upset that I brought.
Oh, you mean this week has been the best competition? Yeah.
I brought an atom bomb. I gotta say, I brought the nuke to your guys' Hiroshima, to your taste buds, because this stuff here, you've already tasted it. I spent way too much money on it. This is $8 a bottle. This is the barrel aged serial killer by.
Hey, you did better on this than I did with that goddamn bolt cutter.
Arcadia Ales. I like the bolt cutter.
The bolt
cutter was good, but it was more expensive than that.
It bolt cutted my balls.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
rough.
This stuff is mouth candy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pass this around. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
It is okay. Serial killer is. I want to fact check here while you guys drink.
Wow. That's so dang good.
Okay. So Serial Killer is actually a barley wine.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Arcadia Ales.
it didn't taste quite like
You can tell
beery.
that, yeah.
No, it's a barley wine, so you kind of get a little bit more of a barley grainy flavor to
Yeah,
it.
you can tell it in there.
Definitely.
It's kind of sweet too, actually.
Because it's got vanilla extract added to it. But they aged this in bourbon casks. This is a super limited release, and it's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, this is on the same plane of like Lion Stout and Bourbon County Ale by Goose Island. Like that. This is in that same realm of just like, oh man. Except I will say it doesn't taste as dark to the palate, at least, as like a Lion Stout, or definitely not like the Bourbon County. Like it doesn't hit you so bad, you know.
Bourbon County did have a heavy taste to it. I think it's because it does have like that vanilla and like oat taste to it.
Yeah.
It's a barley wine as opposed to a stout.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest though. Like I had a Serial Killer here actually a couple days ago, and I'm shocked at the difference in flavor. Like I was expecting you would taste the barrel aging process in it, so you'd have that almost more oaky or bourbony flavor to it. But like the Serial Killer, for some reason off my memory, tasted entirely different than this. Which I'm not complaining about it. But I'm just saying I was shocked at how much of a difference in flavor I noticed in it. Because the Serial Killer seemed a lot more stouty. I'm making up words like none other tonight.
No, it's true. Well, I'll say, just having tasted it again, it's kind of like got this playful thing going on at the back of like my tongue. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of.
It's got a playful thing in the back of your throat.
Yeah, that's happening on the back of my tongue.
That's
but it's not like how do I want to say it? It's not like a straight stout. It's got like a.
Well, it's not a stout.
It's not a stout. Yeah, right. It's not a stout, but it's got like I don't know. It's just like it's got this like sort of sweet tinge. I guess it's not like sweet, but like at the end of the drink, it's almost like
it's kind of acidic.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's a barley wine.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. I like that. So
we're gonna keep this order for voting.
Yes. Voting time.
This is really tough. This is a really tough one because
time to drink some beer and choose which one you like the best. I know who I want to drink tonight. Yeah,
man, that
radio silence.
Like you said, that barley wine flavor is really prevalent in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like you said, the
acidic,
vanilla and
It doesn't have like that rounded character to it. It's
right.
It's definitely got that bite at the end.
Yeah. All right, I've made my decision.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the blueberry stout.
Oh boy.
Ooh,
boy.
interesting.
I don't know why. I just like maybe the price is also sinking into my head a little bit because like $7.50 is a lot for a single bottle, but it is like limited release and they put a lot more work.
You get it like
into
once every 2 years.
Oh yeah. But
so I think it is completely like acceptable purchase because it is like once every 2 years you are buying this.
It is, but
I can justify spending $8.
Oh yeah, and believe me, I would justify it too. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of that blueberry stout. It's like I like a good flavor of blueberry without like just the punching you in the face. Hey, we put blueberry in our beer.
Yeah.
Like it actually just tastes like a good beer with like that hint of blueberry in the background, and it's like you said, it's like a really good blueberry flavor to a person who doesn't necessarily like just eating fresh blueberries.
Yeah. That's
Which
true.
I love eating fresh blueberries because I would just go and pick them and I would just eat more than I would even pick, but anyway.
Quick word to the wise: don't ever buy Bessinger pickles.
Yeah, these are
They're
bad.
sub-quality pickles.
They're not. They don't have that crunchy. Like,
They're not terrible.
They're not terrible, but they're like they get mushy. Some of the parts are real mushy, and mushy pickles are not fun pickles.
You never want a soft pickle.
I literally
never.
picked these up because I was so lazy one day, and I just was like, I'm just gonna go to Jack's and find whatever pickles they have, and this is what they had. And I'm not
when
gonna.
I got a pickle on, I always go with the Vlasic.
Vlasic is the best.
Vlasic makes a real hard
best.
pickle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pickles hard.
Let's keep on with our voting here. We're putting Ryan
Why
on the
do we
spot.
do this to ourselves?
Speaking of hard pickles, I'm in a bit of a hard pickle right now.
Oh.
Because
In one or on one?
in one,
Or is one in you? Oh God.
I am inside of
Can we
a
just beep
hard
out
pickle.
this whole section?
Yeah, let's make it one long Mario coin.
So
Slow-mo Mario coin.
that barrel-aged serial killer, like that one to me, when after tasting the Imperial Stout and the Blueberry Stout, that one's like a punch in the balls. Like that would not
Not in a bad way, but
not in a bad way. It's
It's
just
an
like,
enjoyable
wanna
punch
pass
to the
it
balls.
back?
it makes me go
He's drinking
afterwards. It's just like it's just like whoops. Ooh. It's really kind of wild. It's a wild drink. Like good, like you can tell it's been aged for a while. Like you get that bourbon kind of sense of it. Like that I get that taste from it.
like that's.
But
and
yeah, I don't know.
I agree with you, Ryan, because when I drink that one, that's really the biggest differentiation between that and the Blueberry Stout. And maybe it's depending on, and I'm butchering the name of what it is. What's the actual name of your beer?
It's just called Trace Blueberry Stout.
Okay, Trace Blueberry
by
Stout.
Dark Horse
Okay.
Brewery. Yeah.
Like, I think it's just the mood I'm in tonight is why I voted for it, because that is I really like the barrel aging. I love the flavor in it, like the vanilla and just the sweetness to it, and then that little bit of a kick at the end, and you can really just taste the smoothness because of that barrel aging, that bourbon, that like you think of a Jack Daniel's commercial, they're like, we age our, or what's commercial where they talk about how they age all their liquor and on like charred oak barrels.
I don't know.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, like that's kind of what you think of. It's a really good flavor, and I had a tough time with it, but I just make a decision and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go first,
Yeah, I get you.
because I don't like being on the hot seat.
I mean, I'm trying to be pretty open-minded here and non biased to my own beer.
I'll help you out by saying I wouldn't vote for the Imperial Stout today.
I would agree.
This is definitely in between the Blueberry Stout and the Serial Killer.
I would agree. I kind of ruled out the Imperial Stout.
Yeah.
Not that the Imperial Stout isn't great. It's just between those two, it's kind of tough.
And actually, hand me that Imperial Stout back.
Yeah, here you
So
go.
I'm gonna start drinking it.
I'm just looking at cats right now.
I'm actually, you know what? I've loved the Trace Blueberry Stout for like 2 years now, ever since I had it for the first time, and I'm gonna pick it.
All right.
That's gonna be my pick because ever since
Wow.
I remember specifically, like maybe it wasn't 2 years ago, maybe it was like a year and a half ago when I was at an East Lansing bar called Woody's, and I had that for the first time. And I was
Did
like,
that Woody give you a pickle?
that Woody gave me a hard pickle, a hard crisp pickle.
He totally crisped my pickle.
And I dove inside it, and I was like, I like this inner space of this pickle. So yeah, wow. Okay, Trace Blueberry Stout by Dark Horse Brewery. That's my pick.
Well, I'm gonna drink this.
Are you voting for the Serial Killer?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Okay.
You sure
I'm
you don't want to
looking at-
vote for the Imperial Stout?
I'm looking at sloths right now.
Well, I'm actually going to talk about my problems with the Imperial Stout then right now.
Whoa. That was funky.
What was funky?
I'm gonna try to replicate it. I just took a drink of this and then a drink of this, and it tasted weird. So I'm gonna try to replicate it.
Oh, but I was just like with the Imperial Stout, I don't like how it I don't like the end like half of its tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, never do that.
What?
Don't take a drink of barrel-aged serial killer
And then the
immediately
blueberry?
take a drink of Trace Blueberry Stout. You drink this, tastes great. You drink this, tastes great. And then right afterwards, it's like, here is some really bad burnt barbecue flavor.
Ew.
Ooh.
What if you go the other direction?
I'm going to try that. What am I doing right now?
I don't know.
No,
Whatever.
no.
It's all
This is
good.
important.
This is scientific.
Science!
Science.
Bitch! Mark that.
No. Bitch. We decided bitch is okay.
I thought we decided pussy was okay.
No. I just marked that. We actually decided is not okay.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
All right, here we go. Science. Sloths.
Animals of the rainforest.
Not the same effect.
Not the same.
Nope.
Yeah.
Tasting this, you taste it.
So
Then you
it
drink
depends
this,
on the
and you
order.
taste it. I think
So, kids-
because this is a bit heavier, or not heavier, but it has a more like prominent flavors.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's almost
I'm gonna let the sloths decide.
Let the sloths decide.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna vote for the Trace Blueberry Stout too.
Okay.
Because because of one major reason. And I think that reason is I can drink a lot more of these
That's a
Yeah.
very
in
good
a
point.
shorter period of time. I can only drink one of these.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can barely drink one
The
serial
cereal-
killer.
Yeah, that's very
serial
true.
Killer is very much a sip-in one.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
see, now my issue with that, and I think if we had actually had listeners, they would also have an issue with me saying that because, like, the Lion Stout kind of is the same way though. The Lion Stout was something that you could drink one of, and you're probably not going to drink another afterwards.
But the
Well,
thing was
yeah.
that it all depends on how it hits you, because the
Yeah.
Lion Stout was one of those drinks where we would drink whatever night it was going on, like that was up against it. We would drink the one, it would be like, oh yeah, that's good, and then we drink the Lion Stout, and it would be like, oh man, like I could not drink a lot of
Yeah.
this, but God, is it
Right,
good?
okay,
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, like
yeah.
it was like. It was
Another-
a unique situation with
Yeah.
that beer.
And another thing that helps Lion Stout too is, which this sounds strange, but it has a lower alcohol content, so I don't think it hits you quite as hard as what that serial
That's
killer
true.
does.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm voting for the Trace Blueberry Stout. The
right.
sloths have spoken,
All right.
and they just said, "Look at me, Nick. I'm so adorable."
Can I just say I've been starting off 2013 like in a great way with beer that has won 2 weeks in a row, and then also a new beer this
Yeah,
week.
wait. We gotta pin this up against last week's.
Oh
beer.
yeah, no, that's up next.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go
Alright.
grab a lockdown.
I've been doing very poorly this year.
Yeah, same here. Don't worry.
I brought Bud Light Platinum last week.
Yeah, you did.
I have a feeling. Well, let me get back to the mic. I have a feeling that my luck is about to end after this week. That I've had my streak.
Are we gonna
Yeah,
do anything
well,
special for next week, or just another standard week?
I think. Well, we can talk about that.
I don't know.
Figure something out.
Yeah, let's talk about
What's your beer from
Yeah.
last week? Actually, I don't remember.
My beer from last week that I brought.
The lockdown. Okay. Yeah.
No. I brought a different one last week,
Well, wait.
and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, last week was the
I could
Shock
just-
Top.
You know what I could do? I just.
It was the Shock Top. Apple.
It was the Shock
Yeah.
Top Apple that didn't win. I actually didn't pick my own last week. The one that won last week, I think, was the Black and Tan by Bass.
Yeah.
that. Oh, I
So-
did win one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a beer? That
I've won nothing because I've failed this year.
Wait, the one that won what?
Black and Tan won the beer of the week last week.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I thought it
The
did.
lockdown did.
No. What I'm saying is of the week.
I'm pretty sure that Bud Light Platinum won last week.
Of that
No,
week.
Yeah, you're right.
of that
you're
week's
right.
beers.
You're right.
It
You're right.
won,
you're
but
right.
but you're right. It didn't beat the lockdown.
Okay.
So
okay, I remember
here we
now.
go. We're
Yay!
about.
I won a beer of the week.
Yeah. So we're about to pit the lockdown up against the Trace Blueberry Stout. So I'm gonna take a sip of the lockdown again. Remind myself what this.
No matter what
is all
happens,
about.
Ryan loses. think about it that way.
Yeah,
I
that's
lose.
true.
I have 2 beers that are
Yeah,
going
so
up
you're
against
gonna
each other
lose.
that are my
You're
own.
gonna lose.
So you're guaranteed
Oh.
to lose.
I could look at it the
You're
other way. Then
guaranteed
I'm
failure.
guaranteed to win.
Nope, you're guaranteed
I don't
failure.
look at things that way ever.
Guaranteed failure.
This guy's pretty great. From what I remembered, it was pretty awesome.
I am a big fan of the lockdown too.
Ooh, Yes.
Ooh, yeah. I remember why I voted for that.
Yeah. I need to taste it again to know in my heart of hearts.
Ooh.
Can I do something right now?
Mhm.
I am retracting my vote for the Trace Blueberry Stout and voting for the Serial Killer.
Okay.
For whatever reason, every time I drink that beer, it doesn't taste any better. It doesn't. I shouldn't say it doesn't taste any better. It tastes like worse and worse.
The Trace?
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Yeah.
But
The
anyway.
Trace?
Yeah. I don't know what
okay.
it is. I don't know what it is. But every time I drink it, I'm just like, eh. And then
I don't
like
know.
the next time I drink it, I'm like, eh.
It could be because it's getting towards the end of the bottle.
Well,
when this was on draft at a bar, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, it doesn't change anything, but I'm just retracting my
Sure.
vote.
can I vote counter to that? Because I'm voting for the blueberry stout.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That it was delicious.
I know what I'm voting for.
If you know, then go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you be the last choice in this one because it's your 2 beers.
We do this to Ryan every week.
and I'm
happens
really
all
gonna
the
do this
time.
to you because I'm voting for the lockdown.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in this position where I could make the lockdown a Hall of Fame.
Well, it'd have to go.
No, it would.
No,
It's
that
been.
would be
It
Hall of
would be
Fame.
the
Yeah,
third week.
it would be Hall
Well,
of
wait.
Fame.
Last week, did we actually
Yeah.
pit those 2 beers against each
Yeah,
other?
we did.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I didn't.
We pit
I didn't remember if we
pitted
had
a
or
black
not,
and
but-
tan up against the lockdown.
Okay.
In the lockdown one. So this would be like another Lion Stout type of beer in the Hall of Fame.
Surprising.
Yeah. Like, honestly, not, again, like, I think I had a little more, like, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lucas, but you kind of just saw Lion Stout and you're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Mhm.
But I saw Scotch Ale. I was like, a Scotch Ale has to be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what
So-
I'm gonna be brewing shortly. Is a Scotch ale.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. And man, it is still really good. You have no idea, guys. I actually had to stop myself from drinking the last 2 lockdowns I had because I knew I had to save one for like beer of the year later on.
Well, I mean,
so
that's
Yeah.
a year-round beer, so you can always get it anytime.
that's true. Yeah, we can find it in places.
They
It's
have
a
it.
year.
They have it at the lager mill. Yeah,
It's a year-round?
It's a year-round beer.
Okay. All right.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of dead air going on in this podcast right now, but I have to.
Never gonna.
It's okay. We've got a very tough
Never
decision
gonna
for you
say
right now
goodbye,
because
never gonna tell a lie.
I just. Oh, I got another phone to bid on.
Never gonna give. Never gonna give.
I hope it's not another Blackberry.
Oh, whatever.
I'm actually gonna pick the lockdown.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's that good of a beer.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's the blueberry is great. Don't get me wrong. Like when I had the blueberry, the Trace Blueberry Stout for the first time, it was like a revelation. Like I remember when I was in college at a bar, had that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so tasty. But the lockdown is like got this classic beer taste to it where it's just kind of got this caramely kind of thing going on with it. Like not like sweet, but like
Yeah.
like kind of nutty caramely, like, but at the same time kind of tastes like Scotch. Like it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Scotch ale. Like
Hello, all listeners of TechBuzzed. I am going to go and buy mass quantities of the blueberry stout, though.
oh, blueberry stout is delicious. And these are actually both beers that I could drink all night.
Nick disagrees with me. but-
I could
I do.
drink more of the blueberry stout all night just because it's like sweeter and kind of tastier. But the lockdown is, once again, I think I said this last week. It's kind of got this complexity to it that I really dig. So lockdown, there it is.
Lockdown.
It goes-
It's
it
in the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame. right up there with
Big Daddy.
with the Lion Stout. Except Lion Stout was last year, but
I mean, and the vanilla Snowdrift Vanilla Porter.
Yep.
yes,
That was also Hall of Fame
that was a 3-weeker. Yeah,
Yes, it was.
that it was. Yes,
because it was ice cream.
It
So-
really was ice cream.
So what were our rules again? So the blueberry stout is gonna be the
Blueberry
guy
Stout
that
will not compete next week. However, it will be in the running for.
Wait, I thought it would
I-
compete next week.
I thought it would. I thought our
Because
rules-
that is how the Lightning Kugels got in, because it technically lost against the Lion Stout in its final week, but
so it does compete.
it will compete next week. Yeah.
So Lockdown goes to the Hall of Fame, but Blueberry Stout is the one that goes on to next week to compete
correct.
against next week's Beer of the Week. So, thus concludes our beer segment.
Yes, it does. You guys want to hear some music? Okay, good. Just kidding.
I was gonna say.
Yes. Well, I guess that's it for us today. Which this has been a wonderful episode.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we had fun.
A bit shorter than last week. That's always good.
Only a little bit, just half the length.
So we are going to close out with our ways you can contact us. My name is Nick Smock, and you can find me at Nick_Smock.
My name is Ryan Spletzer. You can find me at Ryan Spletzer on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm Lucas Ritter. You can find me. Why do you want to find me, people? It's at Depressed is cool, but please, 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 just don't follow
Are you
me.
using reverse psychology to get people to get more Twitter followers? Then you can link bait them and ad spam.
I don't post anything but links.
Can I update the good people real quick on my PC status?
Oh yeah, this is important.
I have all of my parts for my PC now.
Yay.
They are in my living room. I'm looking at them right now, and tomorrow I'm probably going to start building it. So I am very, very excited about that.
That is super exciting.
Yes.
TechBuzzed. If you go to techbuzzed.com, that'll take you over to where our podcasts are hosted. That way we don't need to spell out Libsyn for you every week.
Yes.
Which is great. Website is, I've actually been making some progress on the graphical assets for the website these last few weeks. I've been diligently working while I'm in class. Hopefully none of my professors listen to the podcast.
Hopefully they all do, because it's awesome.
Well, I guess I hope they do, and I hope they tell their grandmas to listen.
Yes.
You can find us on Twitter at TechBuzzed. Facebook.com/TechBuzzed is where we are. If you search for us on Graph Search.
Yes.
Grandmas love my hard pickle.
Find us on Gmail at techbuzzpodcast@gmail.com. We still recommend that you email techbuzzed@gmail.com and tell him to give up his email address because he's a douche.
That guy.
And youtube.com/techbuzzpodcast is where you can find video stills of our logo and listen to us, which makes no sense. So why do you do that?
Yeah, I don't get it.
But
What's
maybe
wrong
one
with
day
you?
this year we'll record an after hours and you can watch us there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, we got to get on that.
Yeah.
We know the people of the internet love to see our faces.
They really do. They like to, yeah, they do. Maybe like one day we should just do like an after hours, like not on the same day that we do the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a separate,
Because
whole separate
like
thing.
this
yeah.
becomes such a long, like arduous task.
Yes.
Like recording the show and then doing after hours
It
afterwards.
is a
like,
very long drive
after
home,
hours,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
after hours we get kind of drunk and
Right.
it gets kind of weird. So like maybe we do it after hours on a different day.
we should schedule like an after hours sleepover, like where we have a party.
And like maybe we make it more of a special event.
yes, I agree. Where we do it like an after hours every so often, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Like
we're-
maybe
we're- clearly we're getting drunk.
yeah,
tonight.
like maybe twice a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, everyone, email us questions, please.
Yeah,
We'd love to.
We wanna
We
answer-
want to give you terrible advice about technology.
Yeah.
And you're not letting us do that.
yeah,
And it makes us sad. And every time you don't send us an email, a kitten dies.
What's the name of
Us-
what's
hold
our
on.
address again?
TechBuzzPodcast@gmail.com.
TechBuzzed.
Okay, put it this way. Every time that you don't send us a text technology or life-related question to techbuzzpodcast@gmail.com, a Scottish fold kitten dies. And if you don't know what a Scottish fold kitten is, Google search it, look on the images, and realize how effing adorable they are.
Yeah.
And then realize that you were attributing to the death of hundreds of Scottish fold kittens.
That was entirely your fault.
Yep. So that's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.